Talk to you.
Okay, guys. And again, please do feel free to speak loudly on the mic so that I can hear you, so that you can interact. I don't know why the volume is not really increasing that much higher. Okay. All right, so let's go to the white screen, and I believe if I actually look at the white screen, it's supposed to be, no, we actually moved it for some reason. Oh, that's Doom's white screen. Never mind. Regular white screen then. There we go. All right, so we're doing still the coffee shop example. Sorry, the coffee shop exercise. And the last we received, last we reached was this situation over here where we said buy drink. We kept that as an abstract class, as an abstract use case with two sub use case saying buy drink and buy coffee. And we decided that the buying of the drink, it had a number of steps. I think that it's basically the one step, which is the pouring of the coffee, right? Now, technically, this is correct. In practice, this is considered a bit of an overkill, especially because that one line is also being inherited by just two use cases, right? So in normal circumstances, you would just have the two use cases saying buy coffee and buy drink. In this particular case, and from a practical perspective, the extra use case here just adds clutter to the diagram at this point. All right. But for the purpose of understanding the relationships and how they work, we're going to go with the abstract use case as you see as such. Okay. And with that, we would have actually finished the first paragraph of that exercise. So let's now start with the second paragraph of that exercise. Now, guys, I want you to pay attention to all of this because in the second exercise, which is about the travel agent system, I'm not going to be doing that much hand holding, so I'm going to expect you to be involved even a lot more. Okay. So the second paragraph, it says customers may also purchase donuts. There are many types of donuts to choose from. However, every month there's a specified donut of the month, which is sold at a reduced rate relative to other regular donuts. So, what should we be doing with this, guys? What do you think? Any suggestions?
Yes, you can have another use case, purchase bonus, and you have an extends use case for donut of the month.
I just want to, sorry. You were saying, oh, wait, I saw, I messed something up here. Whiteboard, yes. All right. So you said we can have one use case called
Purchase donuts.
buy donuts. Guys at home, I'm not hearing you talking at all, okay? I want you guys at home to, otherwise I'm just gonna leave you the second exercise as a homework for you to do by yourselves. So I need to see you engaged. There's absolutely no point, I could just give you the answer, right? I need you to see you interacting and involved, okay? So I have a man here in the class. He's saying that we should have two use cases. One called buy donuts. The other one is called buy donut of the month. Okay.
Extends relationship.
And there's an extends relationship. Okay. Going which way, Aman?
Towards the special donut.
To the donut of the month.
Towards the donut of the month. And what's the condition? Reduced price is the condition. You start to see how this is unraveling really quickly, right? So it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be, because remember, guys, huh? Let's repeat this again. With the include and the extend, I'm performing A plus B, okay? With the generalization and the implementation, I have A plus A delta and A minus plus A delta. But in the implementation generalization, only one executes, okay? So implementation, for sure, the abstract is not going to execute by itself, right? It's together, both of those are one use case, okay? Over here, we have two use cases, but still, we either do this one or we do that one, okay? But with the extend and the include, two use cases are executing, okay? And both of them, we're adding them to each other, okay? So you see the difference between each one of them, all right? So how does that translate to the buy donut thing that is going on over here on this side, okay? So that would mean that I might buy a donut. I have to buy a regular donut first, and then as an extension, I might add to the behavior of buying a regular donut, buying of another donut of the month. So that actually means I'm actually buying two donuts. That doesn't make sense. Or it could be the other way around, which is even worse, that I actually have to buy a donut of the month first, then I'm allowed to go ahead and add to it a purchase of buying a regular donut. Neither case makes sense, okay? Because in both cases, you're forcing the purchase of
So it's a generalization
two donuts.
relationship.
Yes, exactly. So the proper relationship here wouldn't be an extend. What would it be? Is at
A
home?
generalization.
Generalization. Okay, let me see the chat because I might not be seeing. Wouldn't generalization be more appropriate? Yes, Dalal. So Dalal, are you here? If you can tell me which direction should the generalization be pointing to?
Buy donuts.
Is that Dalal?
No, it's Isa.
Okay. I don't think so. From to buy donuts. Yes, exactly. All right. All right. Good job, Isa. Good job, Dalal. Okay. Now that makes more sense. Okay. The general case is I'm buying a regular donut. A very specific case I'm gonna be buying. Okay. Now what's gonna happen here? Right? Here I'm having the behavior of buying a donut. Okay. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And the 4 is the full price. Just to say you're applying the full price. Okay. Over here, I'm going to have the 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, but the 4, I'm going to override with a different color as you see. And over here, I'm just going to apply a, say, whatever discount. So let's just say it's a 25% discount. So I just multiply by 0.75. All right. Now, having said so, there's a different way I can actually still use the extend relationship. Okay, I'll be rather impressed if you guys can get this right. Okay, so there's another way I can do this two relationships, two use cases, not the same exact use case. I would have to change the use cases, but in this way, I would need to use the extend relationship. Can anybody figure out how we can do that? So I'm gonna delete this
Can
and
so
basically
make
say the given of the
purchase
exercise is that I need to have an extend relationship, okay? Because Dr. Attar is hard-headed about this. For some reason, he's insisting that we use an extend relationship. How can we do this?
we add like a make a purchase and then you extend to all the buys instead.
No, that's a bit too extreme. That's way too general, okay? We're still talking donuts, okay? I just want to focus on the donuts. We can do it by donuts, okay? Now think of it this way, huh? It's an A plus B, all right? I'm just doing something. I'm just going to add to it something else. It's adding to it. Yeah, it's going to be part of it after we extend it, okay? So the first solution, we decided to use the generalization, okay? So that paragraph is saying we can buy a donut, and every month there's a donut of the month, a very specific, right? And you get it for a discount. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, so one way we decided to do it is to use the generalization, is to have the general use case being called buy donut and the specific use case called buy donut of the month. Okay, that's one solution. It's a correct solution, but we want to do a different solution using the extend relationship. Okay. Um, I'll give you a hint, one of which these use cases is called buy donut. It's still going to be called buy donut. But how do I do this? There's a Faisal said, should we add 2 ways to buy donut, either normal? Okay, Faisal, I think you're getting the idea, but at the same time, can you tell me in terms of what use cases I should create? Okay, guys, I want your answer to be this. Say, Dr. Attar, create a use case called this, create a use case called that, put this on that one end of the extended relationship, put that other use case on that other end of the use case. Okay, so it's gonna be a use case over here. Oh, that's a horrible circle. Gonna be use case over here. Gonna be another use case over there. Okay, one of which is gonna be called buy donut. But which one? And what is the other one gonna be? Again, guys, you seem baffled. It's very simple. All there is to it, think of it this way. I'm gonna do something, right? I'm then gonna add, think of it as code. I'm gonna add another line of code at the end. Okay,
So-
what would be that line of code, and what would be the original?
So would one use case be generalized to buy donut as a general, like
Okay,
any
there's
type
no
of donut?
generalization here. Okay, we're just using
Okay, okay.
extend, so there's no generalization. There's a base. There's a base use case. Okay, I'm giving you another hint. What would be the base use case? What would be the?
Buy donut will be the base use case.
So buy donut would be the base. Okay, but then what you're saying only makes sense if we figure out what we're gonna be writing in this side. So this is buy donut, and buy donut. Oh, come on. Buy donut is over here. All right. How can we extend this to show the extra thing about donut of the month? Now the trick is in what you write in here. The trick is what you write in here and what you write in here.
It's the same donut, it's just at a reduced price.
Exactly, huh? You're getting closer. We're getting closer.
It could be a discount of the donut and
Yeah, now I want you to give me the answer in terms of, sir, Dr. Attar, the condition should be this. The other use case will be called that. But you're getting there. I see you getting there.
discounted donut as a use case. Like
Discounted donut, that sounds as a noun.
Yeah.
Ugh. We never use nouns as use case names. Okay.
Yeah, the condition is donut of the month,
Okay. It's worth,
and
I don't know, 1 riyal. Okay.
the base use case is reduced price, and the condition is donut of the month.
Should I just close the? My God, Senor. I just accidentally closed it. Oops, I have to now take that out. This is horrible. IT. Guys, sorry, I accidentally shut down my laptop as I was speaking. Okay, it's supposed to pick up right now. Okay, so I think, was it Isa, you were saying something, and Sarah saying something else. The condition saying donut of the month, and then the use case called buy discount donut. Okay, so let's consider the first one, and then I'm not sure I heard you well, Isa. So she says buy.
The condition would be the same condition that Sarah wrote.
Okay.
And
Now, why would this be not right? Sorry to burst the bubble here. Guys, why would this not? Now, read it. You have to just read it. You have to read it in English. Okay, that's the best way to make sure, sort of like your sanity check, to make sure you're on the right track. So I'm buying a donut, and if I decided to buy the donut of the month, I can, after buying the regular donut, get the donut of the month, right? But that still means that I need to buy a regular donut in order to buy a donut of the month. Okay, that's a prerequisite that is unnecessary. Okay, so you're getting
So the
there,
condition,
but still
the
the naming
condition.
is wrong.
So basically, the condition would be that you wouldn't be getting the donut. You would be getting the donut of the month.
Okay, so that you're getting the donut of the month. Okay, very good. And Aisa, and what would be the name of the other use case?
A discounted donut,
Say
maybe.
what?
Discount,
Actually, the volume I
discount.
can't hear anybody. If you don't mind, if you can just type it, I apologize. I know I said you need to speak, but for some reason the volume is just really, really low.
You can check it from the volume mixer, maybe that's the reason.
There's something here. I don't know how to get the volume from here. The issue is over there. Nura, is there like one of these buttons deals with the volume by any chance? I'm sorry if I bother you with this. Any of these? Oh, there we go. Come on. To the most. Okay, Isa, can you speak again?
Discounted donut, maybe. I'm not sure.
Again, so discounted donut, before I even think about it, immediately I would gonna discard this because that's a noun. All right, I need a verb.
Get discounted donut.
See what?
Get discounted donut.
Get discounted donut. Okay, so that's still, we're still back to circle one. Get discounted donut. That still means I have to buy a regular donut, then I'm gonna get another donut. I'm getting two donuts. I don't want two donuts.
Get discount.
Get discount. There we go. Oops. All right. Get discount. Or should I say, even better, all right, maybe I will just go apply discount, which is really what you just said, you know, right? So basically the way I'm treating the whole donut of the month thing is I'm using the functionality of just buying a regular donut, and then I'm going to use the extend to override and by applying an actual discount. So I'm buying a regular donut, then in case I happen to be choosing the donut of the month, then I'm going to apply a discount. And this way I would be able to use the extend relationship to do this. Now, which one is correct? Is it using the generalization or is it using the extend? Both of them are correct. Okay. It's just a case of you need to know what you're doing. Okay. So don't go buy donut and buy donut of the month and use an extend. That'd be wrong. Don't go buy donut and apply discount and then use generalization. That's also wrong. Okay. So in this case, if I happen to use generalization, that basically means that applying discount is a specific type of buying a donut, which sounds silly, or vice versa. Still sounds silly. Okay. With the extend, yeah, I'm buying a donut, and then if it happens to be a donut of the month, then go ahead and apply that discount. Okay. Right. With the other solution that we had before, which was buy donut. Oops. And then over here, buy, oh, I can't write today for some reason. Buy donut of the month. Then yes, I can say that buying donut of the month, if I read this, is a specific type of buying a donut. Yes, it is a specific type of buying a donut. Okay. I'll leave it up to you.
The white screen
Which
is not
one we want to
updating
stick
for
with
us.
at the end. So which one of these two solutions you want to stick with at the end? You have, sorry, before you choose, there's a question.
The whiteboard's not updating for us.
I'm sorry. There's just I have a person in the classroom. So I'll hear one of you at a time. Yes, sorry. So again, it's all about, you know, how we're gonna deal with that relationship. Okay, or extend or include. Okay, so extend and include, we said they're cousins. Okay, now if the relationship is mandatory and it has to be included or used, called upon every single time, then naturally is going to be an include. Okay, if that's usually the kicker here. If it's something that maybe will happen, maybe it won't happen, then it would definitely be an extend. So let's take a look at this. Had this one been over here and we called it an include, The way I'm reading this is that every time I'm gonna buy a donut, it's always going to be discounted. Now that doesn't make sense, okay? Because now the regular donuts are being discounted as well. All right, and we're losing money here. All right,
I wanted to say that the whiteboard is not updating for us.
it's not what?
It's not showing anything different.
Oh, let me do this. Okay, are you seeing it better now? It's I'm gonna draw a red line. Do you see the red line?
No, it's frozen.
No, it's frozen.
It's frozen.
Yeah.
ثانية واحدة. Just a moment. Ah, the screen share is. It says the screen share is paused. How do I?
Resume share.
This is what I'm trying to do here, صح? So here. مش فاهم.
You have play button.
Resume share.
Oh, this one, resume share. What is?
لا, it's not working for stop share or share again.
Okay, how do I stop the share?
Oh God, thank you.
Okay, the red button. Okay, and then back again. I still saying paused for some reason. I'm not really sure how. Like this one? No, it's showing over here. I'm not sure what you're saying. This one. Yeah, but that deals with this. Okay, the guys at home, for some reason, they're not seeing it's sharing one screen. Okay, let me do this. Let's do that one. Okay, yeah, I think I got the green light. You see the red line now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's working.
Okay, sorry guys. I'm still, we're all trying to figure out this whole Zoom thing together. I apologize about this. Okay, so Isa, I think you were trying to say something. Can you say it again? Isa?
Oh, yeah, I was just talking about the screen.
Oh, okay, sorry. Type. So now I'm gonna let you guys just choose one of those. We can either use. How do I put this back up now? Oh, if you just click like that. Okay, there we go. We can use this one, or we can use that solution. Which one do you want to? You want to use the extend, or do you want to use the generalization one?
I feel like the extend works better.
Okay, the extend works better. Fine. So we just delete that. Okay. And I'll just delete this. Now, going back over here, I'm just gonna zoom out here for a second. All right, so the customer is gonna be connected to something. Is it gonna be connected to buy donut? Will apply discount? Exactly, because that's the base, okay? That's where we're going to route one. If we happen to add something to it, great. But we're not beginning with the extension right away. All right, so it's buy donut. Okay, third paragraph. It says, for lunchtime, customer can choose to buy one of three types of sandwiches: turkey, vegetarian, and chicken. When purchasing any type of sandwich, customers get to choose the type of bread they desire, whole wheat or white. For an additional cost, a customer may choose a slice of cheese. All right. So I'm gonna go to the open white area here at the bottom. And now let's get the suggestions. Again, just for guys who are speaking, for some reason, I can't get the volume to go any higher than this. So I think it's better if you type on the chat, and I have the chat thing open because I really, okay. So let's begin. So we got a buy sandwich. All right, and we have a suggestion from Faisal that we'd make it abstract. Okay. What else should we do? All right, all right. So you want to create 3 use cases? What? Right, create a generalization and connect it to what? Three use cases. All right. And the three use cases are called what? Hmm? All right, give me the name. Because vegetarian by itself is noun. By turkey. By, oops, vegetarian. And then we got by, what was the last one? Chicken. Right. Okay. And then it says they gotta choose the type of bread. For every type of sandwich, you gotta choose the type of bread, صح? So what do I do about this?
We extend it to by sandwich.
Extend? Am I sometimes choosing a type of bread and sometimes I'm not?
It includes.
Yes, include. I see there. You see, it happens every time. So you want me to do an include, صح? Okay, right? So here we go and include. I wanted it to be extend relationship. Okay, we'll brainstorm that idea, Faisal, in a moment. Let's just go with that one. So here, choose bread type, and there's something about buying a slice of cheese.
That's extend. If that's me, choose.
Okay, right? So what's the name of the use case?
Add cheese slice.
Okay, add cheese. All right, and what's the, so we said it's an extend, and the extend is pointing which way? Is it pointing to add cheese or pointing to buy sandwich?
By sandwich.
Okay. And this is extend. What would be the condition?
Customer's choice.
Yeah, shows cheese, basically. All right, now let's think about this a little bit more carefully here, huh? Tell me what is going to be inside that abstract use case called buy sandwich, which is going to be inherited by each one of those three.
Nothing.
Nothing. All right. Or is it nothing? At this point, it is nothing really. Okay. But I mean, it's got nothing. Yet at the same time, we're including something from outside every single time. And not only that, notice that this thing that we're including is only being included by that one abstract use case. I'm giving you a hint of where we're trying to go with this. Yes, Noura, you said you were trying to say something? An abstract use case is an incomplete use case. Now, the purpose that we have an incomplete use case, why we bother with it, is that sometimes you see the sub use cases at the bottom. There is some common functionality that would exist in all of them. Then there's no point in rewriting it over and over again. So it's a reuse mechanism this way. Now, the reason that what's different between that and say an include or extend or whatever is that what's actually written at the parent use case is still considered generalization what's inside in the specific one. Now it's called implementation when we have an abstract, is because usually we write the goal in the parent use case and we don't have the specific implementation technique sorted out yet. Okay, so we have something called perform transaction, but perform transaction how? Okay, it does have a lot of information about any type of transaction that we perform, what we should do, but the specific of how to perform the transaction is not there. How it's going to be there? It's going to be there through one of those child use cases. Could be perform transaction by credit card, perform transaction by cash. So those one gives the specific details of the implementation. Hence, this is why they call it implementation. Okay. Now, there could have been 6 or 7 different ways to do a transaction, as it does exist in the real world, right? But nonetheless, most of the time, or most of the techniques, there's a lot of commonalities between all of them. Then there's no point in just, yeah, exactly, right? Now, again, we're looking at, we got two problems here. Okay, first of all, I'm seeing, as you've noted, that this guy is empty. And the other problem that I'm seeing is that this one over here is being included by one. What did we say is the problem of having an inclusion use case being included by one? By one use case only. Okay, yeah,
Just one we can monitor.
right? Exactly, we can just merge. So back again over here, this is my ATM example. Okay, I'm gonna withdraw cash. Okay, and then I'm gonna include validate PIN. Okay, now if that ATM machine, the only thing that it does is withdraw cash, then this thing is actually not being reused by anything else. All right, might as well take this and push it back into here so that when I'm actually reading, all right, I'm actually giving to the customer the one and true service that's actually being offered by the ATM machine, which is withdraw cash. All right, if I happen to have multiple other services offered, like say deposit, okay, check balance, and so on, then yes, it would make sense that I would have the validate PIN so that I can make it being included by a whole bunch of other use cases. Okay, so when it's being included by more than one, then it's fine. If it's not being included by more than one, then it would normally be a case of functional decomposition. That's what we call it, functional decomposition. And we'd rather take that function, because we don't talk in functions when we're dealing with use cases. We're trying to make things as big as possible. We only break down when we have to, and then we put it inside the base use case. The only exception to all of this, okay, is when this thing that I'm including, and it's being included by the one use case only, is something that on its own would stand out as a use case that is a full service on its own. So here's my customer. Yes, I can withdraw cash, but also I can decide to use the ATM machine to check my balance. I don't have to withdraw money to just check how much money I have into my account. All right, so erasing all of this again, and let's go back and try to fix what we have over here. How do we fix this?
It won't be abstract anymore, I guess.
It'll be what?
It won't be abstract.
It won't be abstract. Okay, well, that's not really 100% the solution, but if it's not the abstract, then how is this still? It's still empty anyways.
Yeah.
Doctor, I asked it to be abstract so we can actually include the choose bread and add cheese in the buy sandwich function use case. Then the three other use case only choosing the type of meat we want.
Okay, can you type this because the volume is very low. I heard يا طراطيش كده. The volume is just really low for some reason.
I already typed it.
Oh, you already did. Okay. You Faisal?
Yes.
Okay, so he said abstract use case buy lunch or buy. Okay, I wanted to extend relationship. So we have the choose bread type in. Okay, so that's the step towards the right thing here. Very good. So we're putting the choosing of the bread over here. صح يا Faisal, this is what you're meaning, صح?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to have choose bread. All right, and then what about the cheese? He said I wanted to be extend relationship, but extending what? You mean that adding of the cheese? I hope this is what you meaning.
No, I wanted added the cheese also inside. The extend will be that choosing type of meat.
Okay, the type of what meat? Is that what he said? Okay, so if let's brainstorm this idea. So here I'm going buy sandwich. This is what he's saying, and then I'm gonna have some extends. Yeah, vegetarian is not meat, but that's not really the point. Okay, so I'm having 3 extends over here. All right, now if this is an extend, this is an extend, and this is an extend. That means that all three of those, I could have technically not chosen anything. So I could have just bought empty bread. All right. So obviously, the reason why we want to do this is that I want to force one of those to happen. Okay. So this is kind of like when you have an abstract use case, an abstract class, we still get it to be extended by a concrete class to make sure that something actually executes at the end. Okay. But if we just have the extends, well, this one may or may not happen. The top one, the second one may or not happen. The third one may or not happen. So it wouldn't be a good idea. All right. This is why we wouldn't choose the extend in this case. So include would be better. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it again. Okay. All right. So let's brainstorm this. Let's see what that means. So include. Here's my 3. Okay. The include is probably gonna be the other side. Okay. Now include, it's not really helping me that much better either, because every time I buy a sandwich, I have to buy. Well, I'm actually putting all 3 types of meats together. Look at the akka at this point. Okay, it's just nasty at this point. So it's chicken and turkey. Well, maybe somebody would like it, but I don't know. I wouldn't like it. All right. So chicken, turkey, and vegetarian all at the same time. Okay, not my type of sandwich. But anyway, we don't want to force this upon any of our customers anyway. So this is why an include would not work out. The right answer is what we have actually is what we have over here. I'm just waiting for this to slide down. Is I'm buying a sandwich. Okay, I want to take this one over here and make sure that it is combined in all of these 3. So this is why I don't want to have a use case outside called choose bread. Obviously, we had it over here. It wasn't a good idea because it was just included by 1. Now, another way I could have done it, I could have just ignored completely the this guy over here. Could have had choose bread at the bottom, but I would have had 3 includes at this case. Okay, right? And still, using implementation, I saved myself that trouble of having those that include. All right, and then every time there's another, so all I have to do is just I have to write it one place. Now, the bottom one works, but still, we still have a good reason why we need to have the generalization relation. Oh, sorry, the implementation relationship. Oh, let me just. It's being a little slow and reacting. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here, I'm going to go down here for a second. Okay. Had I decided not to use the implementation use case, okay, sorry to cut you off again, but okay, so just go and buy turkey, buy also has chicken, and then the last one is buy veggie. Okay, type. The whole thing about choosing of the bread, I would have had to write it here, here, here. Then I would say, instead of rewriting, I would have just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and those will be my includes. It'll be choose bread. Okay. Now, but the slice of cheese, gonna do it over here. Okay, and it would be an extend, an extend, an extend. Right? So we're extending it this way. Okay, and each one of those I decide to maybe add cheese to it, maybe not, maybe add cheese. Okay, so that would be an answer. It's correct, but it wouldn't be an elegant answer. Okay, it would be it might cause a bit of a what we call a spider web situation. Okay, now if it's something that is applying to all of them, and this include is applying to all of them, this extend is applying to all of them, okay, then I might as well have used the implementation. With the implementation, I can just take all of this and take all of that, right, and have them, okay, and this is my extend, add cheese. All right. And everything that is applicable to all of those, I just put at the top. And as an added bonus, when I decided to take this choose bread and I wanted to put it over here, I realized it was just the one include. So I even took it out completely. And I even have even one less use case at this point. Okay. And this would be by sandwich. Okay. In the future, had there been more functionality that is common amongst all three of these types of sandwiches, then I could have just stick it in the one at the top over here. Now, one thing that is suggested by Faisal at the beginning, which is still correct, is that this over here, I still cannot do it by itself. So I need to make it abstract. Okay. And again, one of these things to make sure that you know the difference between an abstract and not abstract, you just look at that use case, put your hand on the bottom use cases and say, if I just do this, am I having something complete? So unless we go the route of the turkey or go the route of the chicken or go the route of the vegetarian, I have something that's incomplete. Think of it like this. You're standing at Subway, but you just didn't go through the whole row, okay? You just went halfway and you stopped. We'll go up again.
Okay, so you just mentioned that we can make choose bread down, included by all three.
Yeah, it's gonna be included. So this one over here, by virtue of the generalization, by virtue of inheritance, gets to be sucked into this one, that one, and this one as well.
Yes. What I would do, kind of wrong, is because choose bread has two options,
Okay.
which is white bread or dark bread. We can put it down and then not extend, add two use cases, either like light or brown, and use generalization to make that. Is that okay?
I'm not sure I follow the answer. So you have to give it to me one. So what? Tell me what use case to create here.
Okay, first of all, we add the choose bread use case.
We have a choose bread use case.
Yes. And it's going to be included by all three.
Gonna be included by all three.
And then,
So at this point, we don't actually have this, huh?
yeah.
Okay.
And then there's going to be two use cases under choose bread,
Okay.
which is light and brown.
So oops, you didn't tell me this. So here's white and brown. And I'm assuming you mean choose white and choose brown because we don't use nouns. But anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then,
And then use generalization to link.
okay. All right, so let's take a look at this answer. Let's see what it means. All right. So now I've foregone the elegance of removing the entire use case, and I decided to put it so that I would be able to break it down into these two, okay? What's gonna be inside this one? Tell me the text, okay? Well, I mean, we know it's abstract, but being empty is not a justification to having an abstract, okay? So if it's, the reason we have abstract is because it does have something that's gonna be commented by the child use cases, okay? But if they're inheriting nothing, then why should I hold your name, so to speak, right? So I'm not really seeing anything inside that parent use case called choose bread, okay? Because whatever is there, I mean, it's only a one-liner, and that one-liner is already in here and there. One of them is called choose white, another one's called choose brown. Okay, that means that leaves this one empty, okay? And again, it's a good exercise as you're creating these sort of things, and they're not easy. As you create them, you think to yourself, what's in there? Okay, because we're still having the whole modular thinking of SE 100 and SE 120, where we're trying to break down for the sake of breaking down. This is what we teach you, but that's fine. We teach you this in SE 100 and SE 120 because you're in the solution domain. And the solution domain is about breaking something down. Now, the problem domain is the complete opposite. I'm trying to bring in the pieces together and make it bigger so I can see the big picture. Exactly like I said, like when you see one of those police investigation shows, okay, where throughout the episode they're getting little pieces of information. They don't want it to be broken down. They're actually trying to glue it all together into one big piece of information. In other words, one big picture so that they can finally solve the mystery. Okay. And so, like I said, it's reuse mechanism, it's a double-edged sword. Okay. We want to use it. We're even willing to break the whole one use case, one service golden rule for the sake of not repeating ourselves over and over and over again. Okay. But we don't want to be just breaking down and reusing and using one of these reuse mechanisms, whether it be include, extend, generalization, implementation, just for the sake of creating more use cases. Okay, so it's an art in that sense. Okay, it's a balancing act, right? So if I'm seeing this, I'm breaking it down, but I'm not really benefiting from the breakdown, then the heck with the breakdown. I would say take it out. Okay, I mean all there is about choosing. All right, if you choose bread here, okay, maybe I'll just write down white or brown. Okay, at most I would put it down as an alternative flow, as in the regular flow is the basic flow is white, and then maybe they decide the customer choose brown. All right, if we're not treating them 100% equal in this case.
When is it mandatory to add a use case?
It's never mandatory. Okay, it's never mandatory. Okay, so like I said, those reuse mechanisms, okay, are there to help us save the trouble of copy pasting. Unless I'm seeing the benefit of it is not there, and I've ended up creating this empty use cases, then it's hurting me no more than it's benefiting me. Okay. Now, another reason why I need to create a use case is that ultimately I need to be able to read all the services that I'm seeing on the diagram. Okay. What are the services this thing is offering me? Okay. Looking back at the ATM example that had two services, withdraw cash and check balance, then I have to have another use case called check balance. Okay. Even though I could have shoved it inside withdraw cash and I just kept the one use case, but then when I look at that one use case, then I've rid the customer, I prevented him from getting access to the other services, which is just checking the balance without having to withdraw cash. So this is why I would need. So I'm offering 5 services, then I need to have 5 use cases. Okay. Now, there is a bit of a also balancing act between a service and a choice. All right. So buying sandwich, buying donut, buying a drink, these are the 3 main services that we're getting. Okay. In this particular case, we might have chosen turkey, vegetarian, and chicken. It could have been a bit of an overkill, but I went this direction. I went this direction just for the sake that we can exercise the use of these relationships. I could have very well put here on the side is choose meat. وخلاص, okay. I decided to go with the generalization, sort of implementation, just for the sake of the exercise. Okay. But if you think about it from an extreme situation, if you go to Baskin Robbins 31 means there's 31 flavors. This is the reason why they have the 31. Okay. You're not going to have 31 use cases, each one of them just specifying a different type of flavor. Okay. It would be just buy ice cream. In reality, guys, this over here would not exist. Those 3. In practice, they won't exist. It's just a choice. Unless there's something about doing a turkey that there's a whole bunch of other steps that exist, and there's a whole bunch of other steps that exist here and on over here as well, that this one is different than this one is different than that one, then yes, I would have went that direction. Okay. In reality, in practice, that would be still a bit of an overkill. Okay. And I wouldn't have actually needed those 3 use cases at the bottom. And I would read this, I would give this to the customer and I say, all right, Mr. Customer, these are the things that are happening. All right. And the customer would just spot by their eye. Matter of fact, even said this one would have been a bit of an overkill too. And it would be like, okay, so I can buy a coffee, buy a drink, buy a sandwich, can buy a donut. And yes, one of the big business sellers is buying donut at a discount price in case I decide to choose the donut of the month. Okay, that's in practice. Okay, what we're doing in this exercise is because this is a classroom and we're trying to get you to use without having to give you like 6 pages of requirements. Okay, we're using those relationships in a form of an overkill. Now, there's a bit of saying overkill as in taking in one step like pour coffee, but there's a difference between that and creating an abstract use case that is 100% empty. Okay, now that's overkill to the overkill. All right, oh, no, it's just the overkill. It's just flat out wrong. All right. Um, so that's it for that use case. All right, I don't think we're gonna have time now for the second exercise. What I want you to do, guys, is I'm gonna leave the second exercise for you to do as a homework. Okay, just like with the cruise control monitoring system thing, and I do strongly encourage that you send me the solution by email. Okay. Now at this point, I'm gonna stop the recording because we're not going to doing lecture material stuff. Let me just stop.